Hey, yo. This is the next part of our series about building this landing page. So far, this is what we have. We've already built a complete first hero section. And this is our hero section. We've updated the logo. We have a signing. We added a hero section. And then few additional sections have been added. And then solutions has been added as well. And here we are by the pricing section. So we're trying to make this pricing section looks closer to this. So what we have here, and then I just noticed that, hey, the background color here is a bit different. So let's update our background color for the sections, the pricing section to match the background color we have in our app, and then also add monthly and yearly feature. So that's what we're gonna do. So let me grab this color. If I select here on Figma, I won't be able to grab it because it's right here. Perfect. So I'm gonna grab it here and I'm gonna come here, and then what I need is let Lovable know that I need to update the pricing for the basic and the business. Those are the two cards that need the background color. So on the pricing card, so these two on the pricing section, let's say the pricing section for the card basic and business, for the card basic and business, update the background color from white to this. Great. Now we give it a color. It's going to update these two, and note that I really was very precise about the card. So if I say pro, it will know that this is pro, but it knows that this is a container. So it will know exactly the card that I'm talking about. And then we also notice that here we have a pricing toggle monthly and yearly. So we will need a toggle below the choose this section right here. So we're going to grab this toggle and we're going to prompt it to create this toggle. So the prompt will go like create a toggle after the description of this, create a toggle that says monthly and yearly. That's it. That's all we need. So we will also say also create, or let's say add a toggle for the user to enable the user for monthly and yearly to enable users to switch from one to another. Great. So we will have the toggle, but we don't know where. We didn't tell exactly where to place it. So place it right after this. Place it right after, and then I'm going to put it inside description. So after this description, you'll know that it's going to be between here. So this is what we have. And if we click send the prompt, we will be able to see our result. So what we're expecting is a background color and a toggle to switch from monthly to yearly. And that's what we should get within a minute. So let me pause. What just happened? So I keep having this issue with Lovable where it closes when I'm working. You just saw it right in front of me. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to refresh, and I hope it kept my prompt and it's working behind me. So let me relaunch and then see. Okay, the prompt is still here and it's working. So looks like perfect. So our background color has been added and the toggle is here. Great. So our toggle is working, everything is working perfectly, but we will not use blue. So our color here, if you notice, is going to be this pinkish. So instead of the blue, let's say keep on the toggle, change the color from blue. This one, let's go back on our Figma file. We want to give it the exact color that we have. It's going to be this pink. And then it's going to be this one, this purple, not pink. So let's grab that color. To grab it, we're just going to place this little element here. We're going to grab a picker and we're going to place it right here. Perfect. This is our color. Or if you want to make it match the logo, we can also do that, knowing that we're using that fancy red. But let's grab this for now and put it here. This would then going to match with this one because we're using that one. And another thing is we want to use this one for the background, this gray. So, and for the background of the toggle, and for the background of the toggle, change to gray, color to this. Perfect. Now we're going to push it. This is just for this area. So it's going to change the blue, it's going to change this, and it's going to change when it's toggle. It's going to be this color. So it should be fine. So while it's doing this, let's move on to the next section. So our next section after this one will be the customer review. But before the customer review, I want to add a section here called Who are our customers? So if you go on other website, let's go on the pricing, and then on the home page, I'm running something right now that's probably going to take, okay, the transcript. Great. Let me log out. Sorry, guys, this is so busy. Oh, thank you. And then I'm going to log out because I need to grab something from this session. Great. I need to grab something. So right here, we have this section that says exactly who are our app for: the sales team, the business, the marketing team, the education, the media, all these people. And we already have this in this section right here. We already have the sales team, blah, 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 blah. So we want to add another section inside that's going to focus on having this information, something like the assign items, or just a section that comes right before the one we have in here. So I'm going to add this one and then I'll think about what kind of content I want here. So for sure, let's add the customer review section. And what we're going to do, just like always, you're going to grab this one and then let me fill it so he can actually see it. So I'm going to fill it and then export this and put it to, I'm going to export it and then I'm going to give it to Lovable so he can create exactly this style. And let's do the export. Always have to get the bigger size for clarity. And perfect. Great. Now we have our folder, our file is here, and then I'm going to go to Lovable. Say now, great. Now let's create a section for testimonials. Create one that looks just like the attached screenshot. Okay, if it's not clear, it's going to create right after the pricing section. So let's check if it did update. Perfect. You see our update has been applied. The background is matching, and then the switcher is using our color. So far, so great. That's awesome. So there's nothing that we can see here. That's totally fine. So let's add another section. So this is exactly how you then prompt Lovable to do minus change. You have to tell it exactly where, because everything that you see here has a code in the backend, and that code will be able to be understood directly when you tell it exactly where to make the change. So now tell it to add a customer review or testimonial right after this. So it's going to create a section right here called testimonial, and then it will be able to place it right after this one. And then after testimonial, the next section that we're going to have, perfect. Now we have a card of testimonial. I don't like the way it looks. I would probably say add a borderline on each card for the testimonial. Add a borderline on each card of the testimonial. Why? Because you want the testimonial card to look, or maybe just a background color. That way we don't have a borderline, but instead we have a background color. So the background color you're going to use for that will be the same that we use for the pricing. So for consistency, let me grab that. I'm going to grab a picker. I'm going to place it here and this one. So I'm going to come back here and say add or update the background color of the testimonials card to use this one. So right now the card is white and it's kind of like not very visually looking good. So we want to update this background to use our background color, same use here so we can actually see it. And for consistency, the app is using the effect over effect that we have across our entire project. So that's why every time you're going to have a card, it's going to apply the same effect when you hover it, same effect when you hover it. So you have to choose wisely the kind of effect that you want to have. So let's update this and push it, and it should be applied so we can actually see our card looking different compared to the background, because right now you don't even see the top, and the edge or the borderline that you were going to add were going to look like this. You see this gray right here? That's exactly how the borderline, if you were to add one, was going to look like this. See, now we have a background color and it's looking much more appealing and closer to what we have here. Exactly. And this is great. I can't complain, and do not. I think it's looking fine. There's really nothing here that I will change. So right after this one, the next section here, then going to be us adding this section right here, and then we're going to ask it to just update the content to match our project. It can be anything. Just it's a going to be a banner that can have a CTA, and we can update the content. So let's export this banner, and we would like Lovable to then create a banner after the customer reviews. So that's what we're gonna do. Now we come back here and say add the attached banner. No, we don't want to attach it because it's going to use the same exact background, unless if you want to use that image right here, you want to use this background without the text. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate, and then one will be without it, so we can use a background and it's going to be an image, because we can create this effect in the actual app, but it's going to take so much time and so much token. So the fastest way will be to build the just by exporting, and then we're going to ask Lovable to add the attached banner. So this one without text, right after the reviews slash testimonial. So it knows what we're talking about, testimonials section, and create a great copy with a header and a description in the banner with a CTA in black saying in black with a chevron right arrow the CTA must say get started. Now we describe it to reproduce what we have here. It's going to come up with some content. It's going to place it here, and the content will probably not going to be well centered. So it's probably going to be on top here. It's going to be here. We're going to fix it to adjust it, but we want to have a background where the content will be, so we can achieve this exact look, because we cannot recreate. We can recreate this background, but it's going to take us so much time. So we're going to do it using background, and then we're going to add a text on top. So let's push the prompt and then see what it comes up with. And while it's waiting, we can now start thinking about, okay, how about our footer? What we're going to do, we're just going to give it this file, and we're just going to give it this file so it can recreate this exact style as a footer without using the image. I mean, by using the image, but without using the actual export. So we're gonna export this. We have it ready right here. And let's go check back our section. See, this is exactly what I said. So it created the background, but it's not centered. It's assumed that I would want to align the text on the left, which I didn't want to. So I want to create a margin between this. We call it the margin. So the space that you have here and on the other side. So let's say center the text, then keep it in black, and round corner the button. So it's going to center the text, it's going to round corner the button, and lastly, create a margin on both sides of the banner. Maybe we can say 20 mega. Okay, we want to achieve this exact same margin for other elements. So the margin that's being used on other section. So, or the margin that the hero image is using compared to the viewport. The viewport is this entire space that you look at it. So this margin, that is exactly what we want to use. So we want to use the margin that the image, hero image uses on the banner. So on the side, use the same margin used on the hero image compared to hero image compared to the viewport. Okay, just precise that hero image so it will reference that image. So let's do that and push it and see what it comes up with. So we already also have footer section. So we have so far everything looks good. This is look cleaner. This is clean. This is clean. You can comment down below if you want me to fix something here, that you have a suggestion and say, hey, this can be great. Let me refresh so we can see exactly what's gonna come after. Great, we have this. Perfect. You see, now irrespective of the space that we have here, if we scroll up, we're going to realize that it's the same exact margin. So my mouse is here. I'm going to scroll. It's going to respect that exact spacing. See, it's perfect. It's exactly where we want it to be. So you have to know how to prompt it to tell it exactly how you want it to behave. And if we ask it that, hey, what's the margin between this and this? This is the viewport. Entire, this is the viewport. So if you ask what's the margin between this and the viewport, it's probably going to say 64 pixel. So important. So the what you see when you launch your app first, and that viewport has a different margin based of how you want to style your app. So now what we want to do is you want to round this corner to have rounded corner on our image, and this text it did not change it to black. So we're going to go back and say, hey, you forgot to update. You forgot to update the text. This one we copy, we place it here in black, and also round the corner of the banner to, let's say, 16 px. All four, round all four corners, so it's gonna be all of them. And if you push it here, we should be able to see the update very soon. The button is here, everything. Okay, get started. So it's going to update this. It's going to round the corner. Perfect. This is 16 per X. Are you happy with that? If we go back to our, yeah, it looks just like that. It's 16 per X. If you click here and you want to check, looks like here it's 30. So this have a round corner of 30 right here, and ours here is 16. So I think I'm happy with this. For consistency, this is 16, so it should be fine as well. So far it's great. I love the result, and I'm gonna keep iterating. And the last thing that we're gonna add will be our footer. We already have a footer now. Let's create a footer for our project, so it knows that I like to give those little details. And I'm going to grab this one and say make it so that it looks just like the screenshot attached, with every single detail matching. So guys, every time you're prompting, don't worry about the English. If you don't speak English, you can prompt. I hope you can prompt in your own language, because it's a large language model. So it's been trained to know. You just have to know this expression in your own language, so that it will be able to catch and understand and do exactly what you're trying to achieve. So don't worry about the prompt. If you make mistakes, it's going to fix it for you. Just use the right term to express what you are trying to achieve. That will be the best way for you to get the result that you want. So let's go back to our app and check what the footer section looks like. It's building our footer. This video is getting long. Like I said, this will be a series. We're trying to build this entire company up. It's $124 million company. We want to rebuild it, and maybe we can just use it and resell it. Why not? So whatever we decide to do with it, we'll figure it out. So let's do that right here. We have our footer, and then we will have other pages, but we probably not going to have to come back to these pages, because I want to build a simple and very simple landing page. So the next thing we will do to add, we will add everything that we have in our app on this section. We want to build an anchor section type. So an anchor section will be, if I click here, it's going to take me straight to this section. If I click here, it's going to take me straight to this section. So it won't open pages load anymore. It's just going to take me to a specific section. So I will identify how many sections I have in my landing page, and then I will reference them here. So going back, let's check our footer first. Yes, I think our footer is right here. But we can notice that it did not create a margin between the footer and the banner, which is not okay. So looks like the footer and the banner are touching each other. Can you create a great breathing space between them. Great. So it's going to fix that. So, like I was saying, we need those home section. Perfect. See, our app looks great. So another thing is what I've noticed is that in in here in our footer, the footer is using the same margin that we have from this banner. It follows all the way. See the line? This is the margin we have here, the margin. So let's now put our footer content in a margin that will match this exact one. So the prompt will probably go something like this. Perfect. Now let's create a margin in our footer that will match the one used on the banner and the hero image so they can be aligned. So it can either understand perfectly and just push this content here, or it's going to go wild. But I think our prompt is clear enough to tell exactly what to do. So let's do that. We're almost at 30 minutes. I'm sorry, these are long tutorials, but it's going to make your dev with Lovable fantastic. You'll be able to do so many and fantastic things. So after this, the next thing will be to add, like I said, navigation menu here. So we have features, we have solutions, and we have pricing. So that's all we need. We're going to add here features, solutions, and pricing. So we'll say in our nav bar, let's add menus, the following menus. Let's add the following menus. We say features, solutions, and I think, which one was the last one? Pricing. Pricing. Okay, let's check our footer. Perfect. You guys see it's aligned and it's aligned. So it may not be perfectly aligned, like just like following right here, but it kind of like really reduce the space so that we give in breathing room to our footer. Now it's a way much better. So another thing I just noticed is that the subscribe fail here. We have it here. It's rounded corner and the subscribe button is inside. We can fix that if you want, or if you're happy, always check your app. If you're happy with what you get, that's fine. If not, fix it. I want to leave it like this, but I want it to be a rounded corner. So it's going to take me a few tokens. But if you want, you can just leave it like this because we have round corner. We have to keep things consistently corner rounded everywhere. So this will be one prompt. And then I will say and make it and anchor. And anchor is, if I click here, it's going to take me directly to that section. Anchor section, navigation. Navigation. So that clicked, when clicked, it will take me straight to that section in our landing page. You really have to be as explicit, as clear as you can so you can create the behavior that you want. So if I click on the menu, it's going to take me to that section. So let's push the prompt and see exactly how it's going to work. So 32 minutes. I try to keep this tutorial really short, but it's good things take time. That's what I was saying. You can't just give you 12-minute tutorial. It's going to be very fast and stuff like that. It won't be clear. So I'm going to stop it at 35 minutes and make sure after making sure that we have what we want from the anchor, navigation menu style, and then we're going to update this one on the next video. We're going to update this one and a few other things. Looks like our button here, yeah, it's working perfect. And we also going to update few little things just to make it perfectly good looking. And after that, everything should be fine. So after a menu in a navbar and implemented a smooth scrolling to the corresponding section by adding IDs. Perfect. So we're supposed to see it. If you see this blinking, it means it's still working. So perfect. Now we have our menus. And if you like them here, you can keep them here. But I want mine to be centered. Or we can keep them on the right. So are they working? Let's check it out. Let's go back in here and we're going to refresh and see exactly how our app is behaving. If I click on solution, yay, it's working. If I click on pricing, yay, it's working. If I click on features, you see how amazing Lovable is. So for a developer to achieve this, it's going to take so much time. So the next video, we're going to update this. I want this to be darker, maybe a bold font, bold. I want it to be centered, or maybe it's really depends on your style. And we're going to adjust few things, such as we're going to add a pale shape here, like we did for this one. Just few things to make our app more beautiful. But so far, we have everything we need, and this is fantastic, guys. This is amazing. So we have our landing page, and then we're going to move forward with the dev of everything. So thank you so much, guys. If you have any question, drop on a comment below and I will be able to assist you and reply to every single comment. I see you guys in the next one. Bye.